Hey guys. Sorry my eye looks kind of messed up. I managed to give myself a black eye. Um, don't ask. But so obviously I'm new to this, and I'm not necessarily thinking that this is gonna be like some huge channel that blows up. Um, I honestly just want an outlet to be able to talk about things that are going on in my life, and maybe eventually if I get some viewers who want to get involved and want to share their stories, or want me to share their stories for them, um, anonymously or otherwise. I'll leave my email down below, so you can certainly send me an email and we can chat. Or if you want to share your story and you want me to put it on here for you, I'm more than willing to do that. Um, but I think that everyone has a story to tell, and I want to start sharing mine because I think I'm hoping that this is going to be something that is good for me. I've started seeing a psychologist recently, and I kind of think that maybe I'm not as honest with her as I should be sometimes, and I think that maybe this will help motivate me to just kind of tell her the truth. But obviously, I don't have some like fancy setup, and this is really new, and like I said, I don't think it's going to be a big thing. But I do hope that if you do watch this, that you enjoy it and you like it and it helps you some, or maybe it will encourage you to go seek help if you need it, or to at least talk to somebody that you know and you trust. So here's a little info on current me. I'm a dental assistant who loves to talk about anything dental. I'm a cat enthusiast, and I'm a Danish-Canadian. I live with some mental health issues like anxiety and depression, and some other like little weird things that kind of go along with that. But at the beginning of this channel, I really just want to tell my story of where some of these things may have come from, um, and just kind of see if things can grow organically, and if people are interested, then I just want to be able to continue to help people. Like I said, just kind of inspire them. I hope that my story can help someone who's struggling. So kind of to dive right into things, young Shanelle was a happy little blonde-headed girl, and I had it all. I never wanted for anything. I got to travel, and I spent lots of time with my Danish grandparents. From birth, I learned how to speak fluent Danish and was immersed in their culture by trips to Denmark very often, and things were great. That is until I noticed my father's alcoholism. So at around age 10, I'd say the realization began to set in the most. That was around 2 years after I'd met one of my best childhood friends. She and I loved having sleepovers together. We had a stupid little game called Chris and Mark, and basically they were our brothers, and they were like criminals, and we were like the good guys, like we were the police. And I had a microscope, so we did lots of like forensic testing and stuff like that. And we just loved doing like stupid stuff like that. We played outside a lot. It was a great friendship. But I started to get embarrassed about my father's drinking. I wanted to invite her over, and I still did. But every time I did, like, I hoped that he would just, stay down in his room and play his video games so she wouldn't notice. I started not wanting to interact with my dad as much as I had used to, because I was just kind of like angry with him and upset, and I could definitely tell that he wasn't, the same dad at 3 o'clock when I came home as he was, at 7 o'clock when he had had too much to drink. But when I was 13, my mother, right before Christmas, decided to tell me that she had decided she wanted a divorce. The problem with this was that she only told me. She didn't tell him. So I lived in the same house with the two of them, knowing the fate of their marriage, and knowing that she was cheating on him as well. Which she told me at the same time as she told me they were getting a divorce, and made me talk to the man that she was cheating on him with. So I cannot explain to anyone how difficult that was for 13-year-old me to keep a secret like that from your father. And I became extremely resentful toward my mother, but kept my loyalty to her because for my whole childhood, all I wanted was to be just like her, and I looked up to her, and I wanted to protect her. But even though I hated my father's drinking, I of course loved him very much, and I felt like I was living just inside some crazy movie. And I believe that this is where the decline of my mental health started. So just trying to be loyal to your mom while, like, loving your father but resenting his actions, and loving your mother but resenting her actions, it's obviously really hard. And I remember going out to different, like, family events where maybe my father wouldn't come, and her kind of talking to some of our family members about how they were going to get divorced and how she just couldn't do it anymore. And it was hard because even though my father was an alcoholic, or still is, I still loved him and he still loved her very much. And I knew that this would be very difficult for him. So I know that this was a pretty quick video, but I think I'm going to end things here for the day. I hope to see you for part 2 of this story. This is kind of a difficult thing for me to talk about, but I've never had the chance to tell my full story to anyone, and I think that this could just kind of be therapeutic to me. So again, I'll leave my email down in the description. If you have anything you want to talk about, it can be mental health related, or it can be dental related, or cat related. Those are all good things. Just shoot me an email, and thank you for watching.